So those are the kind of business owners that we see. It's the hustlers. It's the people who are taking advantage of the situation around them, the go-getters.
And the music's ending. Welcome back to When Banks Say No. How are you, Boyd?
I'm good, Carol. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Nice to be sharing a camera with you today.
Yes.
Normally we're in different places, but not today.
That's okay. We manage.
Yes.
We have two special guests today. We have John Polimony and great friend. John is the head of sales and partnerships at Kashu, and great friend is the CEO of Kashu. So welcome to our podcast.
Gentlemen, welcome. Now we've mentioned Kashu, I think once previously before, after your recent name change, rebirth. So for our listeners, our viewers, Kashu it's a fintech company which, among other things, can turn available credit into cash. And this is a big deal for so many of our clients, so many who are startups and solopreneurs and young companies who have trouble accessing capital from the banks. And so one of the most popular tools that we use as business loan brokers is what we call the syndicated line of credit. That's where we take your credit file and we talk to multiple banks at once to try to get in increments new credit for you, totaling the amount that you want. And this money tends to come, well, it always comes at 0% interest for at least 12 months. We're seeing some of these at 15 to 18 months.
Most likely 15.
U.S. Bank had one for 24 months that I think they're still offering. So if you need a runway to get a business started or even purchased, the syndicated line of credit program has been very popular for a lot of our clients. Now, as we talk about how you receive the funds for the syndicated line of credit, they come in the mail as credit cards. You can end up with, 3, 4, 5 or more individual credit cards from major banks, all at 0% interest for at least 12 months. And so our clients often ask us, okay, well, then how do I spend that money? Well, it comes as credit cards. And so almost everybody in the world now will take a credit card. And so you can buy supplies or pay contractors or utility bills, whatever the startup costs you have. Largely, you can pay those with the credit cards nowadays. An additional perk of this program is the ability to take those brand new credit cards that are coming at 0% interest and convert that available credit into cash. And that's amazing because, as we know, in the world of startups, not a lot of people want to loan cash to a startup. Extending credit, that's fine, right? But to actually put cash in someone's bank account, not many people want to do that. And so
and that's 0%?
At 0% interest for a long time. It's a long runway. Yeah, you're still getting that. There's no interest on that cash for that grace period. So we were really happy for John and Gray to join us today because Kashu is the leading company, in my opinion, who can convert that available credit into cash, put the cash in your bank account. And as we all know, cash is king, right? I mean,
yes.
Cash is king. Yeah. So John and Gray, again, welcome. Wanted to get your expertise and have you share, obviously, your know-how and experience, but really want to answer two primary questions. How can somebody actually really convert available credit into cash? And what does that mean? And then what can they do with that cash? What are the many things they can do with that cash that really is a smart way to use that money?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys, first off, for having us. The ability to access capital is sometimes tricky, it's sometimes expensive, and other parts limited, right? Like you said, startups have a hard time finding someone who's going to give them cash in their bank account, especially at 0%. That is almost unheard of. And inside of that, the ability to have that capital is a huge lever for these new businesses. That's precisely what Kashu was built to do. So we built this platform, a Venmo-style application, where the users can come on and they're able to connect their cards, move money to their bank accounts, and be able to take advantage of the situations and the opportunities that they have in front of them. So that's kind of the overarching view of the platform. But being able to access the cash at a place that doesn't charge you 29.99% APR,
Right.
or doesn't charge you a 1.49 factor rate like a merchant cash advance. And then you're able to take advantage of those credit lines that you've worked hard to build your credit, to get the credit, and then to be able to deploy it. That is a meaningful tool that is now being accessed by thousands of business owners, and we hope millions of business owners in the United States.
So let me ask you a question there. If I go take the credit card out of my wallet and I go to an ATM machine and I get an advance on my credit card, what APR am I going to be paying for that?
It depends on the issuer, but you're looking at around 29 to 30% APR.
That's what I thought. 29, 30. I mean, that's huge.
Yes.
I mean, it's great. You can go get it if you need it, but man, that takes a bite out of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that as well is, it's limited. If you have a $10,000 card, they're probably not going to let you take anything more than $3,000 or $4,000. And guess what?
that's right.
That's
Great
true.
point. There is a limit.
To also get 30% APR. So it's just it's not a exciting way of being able to access the capital.
Right. So with Kashu, then, if I plan ahead, because it takes a couple of days, I understand, to get this done, but if I plan ahead, what are my costs and how much can I get on my cards?
Absolutely. So, Boyd, I'll tell you the process. It's just like making an app. You make your account, you're able to move money into the platform. That takes anywhere from 12 to 24 hours, and then you move money off the platform. That takes another day or two. So yes, you do have to plan ahead a couple of days, but we are working on some things to partner with Zelle to where you can instantly send
That would be
basically
wonderful.
from your card to your bank account, which is going to be huge for contractors, for restaurant owners, for someone that needs to take care of business the day that it needs to get done. So those are kind of the fun things. But with that, it's a standard platform fee of 8.5%. This is the ability to move as much as you want. There are no limits. The limit is what your credit card says, and we have our own platform recommendations, right? If you have a brand new card, it's in your best interest to just use what you need and not the entire thing. So being able to have access to that capital before, otherwise you're paying 29.99%, but being able to have access to that at a more efficient rate, what is that ROI? And that's what we talk to our sales, our partners, and our users. What is that ROI that you're going to get by using the app?
Awesome. Yeah, 8.5% is a lot lower than 29 to 30. Yeah, wow.
That's great.
John, you look like you have something to say.
I think it's just super cool what we have built, and I think inside of there we've already helped thousands of business owners, and I think that there is a real capability for startups to really get off the ground. And you mentioned that you work with a lot of startups and getting them funding, right? And there's many people who they need to gather funding in a short period of time, and you guys help them get the funding, get the 0% interest, and then now they have kind of a little bit of runway in between like you said, 12 to 24 months or so of that zero interest, where then I can access the capital that they need. And to Gray's last point, be able to take off what you need at the start and then grow and use this actually as you make ROI on everything. It's really how you're really gonna expand into a real business, right? Once you actually get started, you need a little bit of cash flow. I mean, we see people come pay their vendors, their suppliers, pay for payroll, right? So it's a great point about the Zelle type platform where you can do these things 24 hours or so. That comes to our payroll type of platform inside of there, which is super interesting. So I think that there's a big difference that a lot of people haven't yet seen from a quicker turnaround time than what most people see, right? So it takes a while to get a normal loan out for businesses, and it's expensive. So here we're able to keep it pretty cheap for you guys.
A question, because I'm already thinking about some of my clients, our clients, and just to put an example. For example, a client that was approved, one of the credit cards is 10,000. And what's the maximum, like if they were approved for 10,000, that you can cash in the available credit to turn it into cash? Is there a cap or percentage?
And finally on the app, we don't have like a direct, cap, right? We have, utilization, benchmarks that we do recommend inside of the app. Usually it's between 60 and 70% of your card, right? Is what we recommend for the first time. But inside of there, there's kind of some scenarios that it could be different, right? So if you have a seasoned card and you have someone who like yourself who's been a business owner for years, you guys have good credit history, you guys pay off everything on time, you guys have a little bit more flexibility inside there for your spend. But for some of the business owners that you guys might work with, that are startups who just got their first Chase card for 10,000, we recommend doing a few test purchases before you make a big purchase as your first one. Inside of there, we have all of our sales reps are trained to walk them through the correct process. And inside of there, train them on, hey, we recommend talking to the bank first if you want to make a bigger transaction, because the beautiful part about this is everyone that comes onto our platform has a one touch point with one sales rep, gets them walk through the app, verify everything through ClearMe and Plaid. So we have everything KYC'd inside of there. But as soon as they get past that, they're able to access this platform anytime. So I mean, Gray and I wake up at like 6 a.m. and there's transactions that happen at 2 a.m. and it's like people that are doing this at the time that they need it, and that's how money should be able to be moved.
Absolutely.
So this isn't just a one-time deal. I go in, I get the cash I need, and I'm done. This is a repeatable process.
Yes. Quite frankly, I mean the use case, like John mentioned, these are business owners who are making payroll. These are making real estate investors putting down payments on properties. These are also people who are making commercial lease payments, right? Recurring things that occur every single month. The idea is how do you make this product sticky? How do you make it a part of your financial arsenal that that you're going to have to make a payment that requires cash, but you want to use your credit card? So those are some of the things that we're coming out with. Later this summer, we will be in the App Store. And along with that, you will be able to schedule payments from your credit card to land into your bank account. What kind of timeliness does that create for you if you know that payroll can get covered by your credit card every month, where you don't have to focus on being able to crunch numbers anymore? You can focus on running the business and building a good operation. So those are some of the things that we are striving for, and the ability and learning from the use cases to, again, how do we keep this a part of the arsenal? And that is where it is trending. I mean, the top users have already done this 2 dozen times. So these are recurring folks that are doing small amounts, but they're doing it as they need, right? Then you have the other side of the investment scale, if you will, for those who are taking advantage of a situation that might need to be cash flush. So they're going to use 50, 60, 70% of their limits to take advantage for a couple of real estate projects. So it really kind of depends on the business owner, their cash flow cycles, where they're at, and what niche they're in.
We hear that. We've been hearing that a lot particularly for real estate, for making down payments on something. Can I borrow the money for a down payment? In some cases, yes. But this would make it more universal. Then again, if they plan ahead, I don't know how long the money has to season in the account first, but if they get the cash advanced off of their cards, that can solve that down payment question too, especially for the fix and flippers who
I was just thinking
put down less and less and less the more they go. That's a great option.
Yes. And also for our clients that work on government contracting, that sometimes it just takes quite a while to receive the payment, and they are usually running out of cash really quick, so they need to have that.
Gives them an option for more cash.
Yeah, there's a lot of options between using this as a platform to access cash on a net 30, net 40, net 60, like the contractors, right? And a lot of people sometimes are, scared of credit, right? And using credit. It's not always taught properly. Luckily, you guys are here to teach the opposite, right? But, inside of there, it's not always just a platform to be used when you need it or when you're in, a hole, right? It's also how do you maintain cash flow, right? How do you use this as a money management tool, right? Where you're like, oh, I do have cash, I can pay for these things, but how can I also leverage, the 0% interest I do have? It's not because you're in dire need to always use it, but instead you want to make a smarter financial decision. So you can use it as a tool, right? It's not always a crutch that most people, view credit as, right?
Okay.
Well, that's a great point because not that I had limited my thinking to that this is something you use in an emergency or you have nothing else, but the fact that you can use this over and over, integrated with your payroll, is I would love to pay those things with my Delta Sky Miles card. Get all my free miles and such. That there's some benefit to that, of course. So yeah.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it is heavy on the benefits. We see quite an array of business owners using pretty much every credit card there is. So you have some that are chasing the miles, some are chasing the points, some are chasing they all have their own unique benefits. Yes, cashback, you name it, right? Hitting the spend bonuses and beyond. And that is another unique feature of the platform that people are taking advantage of. So we look at it in the case of you're making this purchase onto the platform, but what are the rewards you're getting? What are the points you're getting? What are the bonuses you're hitting? That also serves as an ROI on top of being able to take advantage of the situation that you have in front of you that you couldn't previously maybe take care of or take care of at this price point. Maybe you had to take out a cash advance, but you can now take action on it and get, bonus points for it too. So it's kind of a win-win all around, and we've seen quite a few folks use it so far.
Nice. So far, we have framed Kashu as an option for once you get your syndicated line of credit or your credit card stacking, you get all these brand new cards at 0%. But that's not the only entry point. I can come to you anytime with any credit card I have. Interest may apply on that credit card, but I can come use Kashu anytime. Not only if I just got this whole new stack of cards, right?
Correct. The ability to access the capital from your cards is not subject to 0% cards.
Right.
It makes the most sense for certain vehicles to do it when you get fresh or new cards using your syndicated line of credit, if you will. However, if you do have a normal card, personal or business, and you still need to take advantage or cover a payment or being able to, again, take care of a situation, you could still use the app for that. And at the end of the day, that is your credit card bill. You do pay that off, and that's a relationship with you and your credit card company. However, we've seen the savviest of investors utilize their 0% cards to go close a deal that they need to close.
Yeah, credit's a tool.
Absolutely.
If you use it right, it can be very, very powerful. Yeah, you're helping you that. Okay. Any success stories or case studies you want to share with us in closing?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a couple. I think my most favorite one is there's actually a lady in Arizona. She has a flight school, and she wanted to purchase, very cool. She wanted to purchase her first Cessna 172. It's a single prop plane because it's a cash generating asset, right?
Yeah.
And the lady, she got about 200 to 300K in cards, so she'd been stacking for a while, and she saw her first plane that she wanted to get, and it was a gentleman on Facebook Marketplace for selling it for 140, 150K. So she comes onto the platform. She was able to take off about 160, call it 165, and comes into her bank account, and then she's able to make a wire to go get that plane. And now that plane is, again, a cash generating asset for her flight school out in Arizona. So that one is pretty unique. We see people across the board in unique sectors. I think we had another business owner in Mississippi, I believe, a couple weeks ago. They breed horses, and they're trying to breed more racehorses, and the horse breeder that they're purchasing from does not accept credit card. Well, fancy their new 0% cards. They wanted to access a little bit of their limit so they can go purchase some horses. So that was a unique one as well. So those are the kind of business owners that we see. It's the hustlers. It's the people who are taking advantage of the situation around them, the go-getters. On top of that, you do have your restaurant owners, you do have your e-commerce store brand owners, and really small business owners across the board. So those are some of the cool stories that we do see every single day.
Very cool.
In all, I see that the common denominator is time, because I can think, for example, waiting for an SBA loan will take forever, and mention other types of funding. So this one was quick. So this is really for someone that needs the money really fast. This is a really great solution. Mm-hmm. So this is
it really is ideal. Like you were explaining, Gray, with the airplane. She'd been stacking. She had the capital there ready to use. We talked about that, having the money ready to strike, having that capital ready, and then for an 8.5% conversion fee, she's avoiding interest payments, which are going to be at least. I mean, SBA is at least at 10 right now. And that every month, the interest. So a one-time transaction, not a bad deal.
Even a term loan, because depending on how the credit is, it can be higher than the teens.
It takes to even get approved for a term loan.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that money is getting drawn from your bank account. So this, all things considered, Kashu only adds money to your bank account. So
that's right.
Kind of a fun.
Cool.
Definitely better than an MCA as well.
Yeah, we're not
because we always want to avoid those.
Yeah, we don't want those. We have a referral link that we'll post in the show notes and in the description, so anybody who's just finished watching this can go click and create an account there with Kashu and benefit from this ability to convert available credit into cash at a very reasonable transaction rate, and go make some magic happen.
Absolutely. The ability to again take advantage of the situation. That is what we see. Moving money, getting after it. Those are the biggest things.
Yeah, terrific. All right. Carol, do I hear the music starting again?
Yes.
I think our time is up.
Yes, we can stay here for hours.
Yeah, we could. Well, John and Gray, thank you very much. It's been an eye-opening, and congrats on developing such a cool product. And especially for our clientele, this is just this is heaven sent. So we'll do our best to get the word out and keep sending people to you.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Count on that.
All right.
Guys.
Thank you.